Like the video and subscribe now. Or else someone will laugh at you like this horse. r/us credit. Men of Reddit, when was the last time you've cried and why? My ex-fiancé left me after I spent 9 days in the hospital battling dual pneumonia and almost dying. I was tucking in my 7-year-old daughter a couple of months ago, and she told me that she was worried about me dying before her. I'm only 42 and healthy. So I had a conversation about how old I'm likely to live, and that she will be an adult when I die. Then she said, but when you do die, will you help me, because I need you so much. And I lost it. I was 5 or 6 when I had my first existential crisis. I was taking a shower and realized everyone I loved would die at some point. I'm just grateful I've been able to spend as much time as I have with my parents and grandparents and stuff. My marriage was on the verge of collapse when my ex-wife got a job offer in another state. She had been unemployed for some time, so she had to take the job. We decided I should stay behind, since I had a steady job and divorce was inevitable. My wife moved out, and the kids stayed with me until she got a home in her new city. Taking my kids to the airport and putting them on a plane to move away from me was soul-crushing. I held it together until they boarded. Once they got on the plane, I lost my shit. My kids only lasted a few months with mom before packing up and moving back to live with me. I was 5 or 6 when I had my first existential crisis. I was taking a shower and realized everyone I loved would die at some point. I'm just grateful I've been able to spend as much time as I have with my parents and grandparents and stuff. Months ago, when my best friend was found dead in his car after a week-long search for him. Turned out he killed himself. I lost a friend last year. I really do understand it's a pain like no other. Every time I consider suicide, I cry thinking about him and remember the pain it caused for all of my friends. I've teared up a few times, but last time I legitimately cried was in 2010 when we put my childhood dog down. I was a senior in high school. We had him since I was in first grade, 1998. He was my first and only childhood dog, a Siberian Husky, and I feel like we grew up in that house together. He had some cancerous tumor in his stomach that was spreading rather quick, and the attempt at removing didn't go so well as they couldn't get it all. We decided as a family to let him go peacefully so he didn't have to suffer, as they promised us it would continue to grow and possibly cause him severe pain in the near future. I'll never forget holding him in my arms in that room as the vet asked me if I was ready for the moment. When she injected him, I felt his entire body sink into my arms. He was lifeless in an instant. I was so happy he went peacefully without pain. My best friend growing up. I've never expressed my emotions from that moment to anyone besides my parents and my current girlfriend. Whenever I think back to that moment, I get teary-eyed, but I'm happy I was there for him in his final moments. I wouldn't change a thing if I could go back in time. Please try and be there for your pet if you ever have to make such a decision. Woke up at 4 AM after dreaming my dad told me he has days to live. Then realized he is actually dead. I have those dreams about my nan and my granddad. They suck so bad. The realization when you wake is just such a gut punch. It really is. I was wailing. Haven't cried that hard in a very long time. I'm so sorry. It sucks so badly. I know how you feel. About a month ago I had a series of those kinds of dreams and woke up screaming and sobbing. My neighbor, bless his soul, actually came to knock and see if I was okay. In a way it was mortifying, but in another way just telling someone about it seemed to ease it off. I hope yours calmed down. Internet hugs. A few weeks ago, when one of my best friends told me he's going to be a dad. I can go for months and months without shedding a single tear, but these news got me really emotional, in the best sense of the word. This has been an eye-opening experience for me, as I had no idea I was capable of feeling such things. I had some dream in which I don't really remember what happened, but when I woke up I was sobbing like a child. I stopped almost immediately once I was awake. Very strange. I had to put down my horse cattle dog. It was just me and her for 12 years, and then I got married, and she got sick shortly after. Worst day of my life since my grandfather passed. Here's a pic of her that was usually my phone's wallpaper. She left knowing you have a new forever companionship with your spouse. Thanks. I think that too sometimes. Month ago. Was yelling at my kids because they were misbehaving and I put them to bed early. Broke down afterwards and cried on the stairs. Knew I didn't have to yell as much and said some unnecessary things. Wife talked with me on the stairs and it turned into a turning point in my life and I'm doing much better with the discipline. Edit. Holy shit, haven't checked since I got off work and this blew up. Never hit my kids and never will. Immediately after the talk with the wife I went and apologized. It's never too late to apologize and explain to your children why you were yelling. While I held my 4-year-old daughter in my arms and realized there was nothing that I could do to save her from dying from mitochondrial disease. I don't think I had ever cried so hard before or since. 7 years later it still haunts me, but time does make it less painful. That helplessness. The anger cry combined with the grief cry combined with the hopeless cry and the loss of the future you wanted cry. I know that cry too. It's a deep well in the heart. I'm so sorry about your daughter. When my GF broke up with me through a phone call after 6 years. Just cold and back quote T hold it together. Edit. Thanks for all the kind words and such. It back quote S been a few weeks and I feel a bit better by now. We also met up and talked about it a bit. The sadness and frustration's still there, but she found the guts to talk to me about it personally, and I appreciate that. Says she wanna stay friends and all that stuff, but whatever, no idea how that back quote S supposed to work out. Definitely can back quote T just pretend nothing happened lol. I back quote M in the process of moving out and had quite the shitty day, so thanks again. Really appreciate. Hope shit gets better for all of you commenting that you experienced the same. Via a fucking phone call after 6 years together? What the flying fuck? That's messed up. Took a small getaway trip, about 8-hour drive few weeks back due to stress. I played all of the songs I shouldn't play on the drive up and let myself unwind in the car and get all of that stuff out, job stress, feelings toward my ex, the whole gamut. Did me well. To everyone ming me, thank you for your stories. Life can be hard. Make time to find the gentle solitude you need. We'll all make it through this in time. Slowly, but surely. Sometimes you just need to cry and let your emotions out. I have a YouTube playlist of some of the saddest movie/TV moments for whenever I'm in that place. Then a playlist of the happiest moments to bring back up again afterwards. My daughter was born the start of last year. Think I must have cried for a solid hour. Get ready, man. I teared up last year when my son was born. Not a full-on cry, but unexpected emotions. Last night I was feeding my now 10-month-old, and he was in turn feeding my old Doberman, and it just hit me like a wave. Everything was perfect in that moment. My wife started crying because she had never seen me cry. Then my kid started laughing hysterically, and my dog barked so loud that he forced a fart out. A perfect moment. About 5 minutes ago. One of my nephews is currently in surgery for something his doctors have never seen in a kid his age before. I just got news from my sister that best case scenario has happened, and they were able to take care of things. He should be out of there, or in half the time as was expected. So, yeah. Crying in relief at my desk at work. Going up to see him in a couple days. It's hard to explain what it means to have kids like him in your life. Edit. I just found out that he is out of surgery and everything was successful. Huge weight off my mind. Last week at our first ultrasound. Wife and I have had 2 miscarriages, and we had an appointment and saw the heartbeat. This little peanut has stuck around the longest so far. Fingers crossed. May the pregnancy be smooth, healthy, and uneventful. Uneventful. Baby comes out cool I guess. Good luck, dude. We had a miscarriage the first time, was early, no heartbeat at a 7-week scan, was really tough to go through, especially for my wife, so I feel for you. As you'll probably know, the chances of miscarriage massively decrease once there's a heartbeat. Last time I got teary-eyed cats in the cradle. Last time I cried, wow, years ago, must have been when I lost my job, got dumped and my grandfather died. All within 6 hours. That was enough to set me over the edge. It was over the weekend. I was reaching out to a few different friends to see what they're up to, but everyone else had pre-existing plans. It hit me hard when I realized that I'm always making an effort to reach out, but I don't get the same in return. I do a lot of the work, and when I try to make plans, there's always something that comes up, or they're too busy. Started to happen to me over the last 3 months. Now I'm just trying to be happy with myself and learn to be more lonely because I still can't understand what is going on. I always gave my best to make my friends enjoy being with me and make them happy. But I guess they just don't care about me. This last weekend, after a night of drinks, a very good friend of mine and I were ending the night at her apartment. We had been chatting for a bit when at one point, she redirected the conversation and began to beam about how she's proud of the man I've become. She talked about my character, how I treat people, and my habits. She told me there are things I do that she admires. Things that I've been doing for years, and that I thought no one noticed. It was a very tender moment and I couldn't help tearing up. I've never had a friend or loved one, other than a relative, say such beautiful things about me. Bless her soul, I don't know what I would do without her. To say that she's an amazing person wouldn't be enough. Edit. Hey everyone, really appreciate all the love this post is getting. I'm currently at work and don't have the time to respond to everyone's messages. I'm planning on coming back to this comment once I have some more time. She loves you. Whether romantically or platonically, she admires, respects and loves you. Never let her go. As someone who just found this kind of platonic love a few days ago, I can agree it's something I never want to let go of, now that I know of it. It's been a wild start to the year. Edit. If it's any sign to how this decade's gonna go, well, I can't fucking wait. A couple days ago in the shower, the song You Can Let Go Now Daddy came on. My grandpa had an aneurysm blow and my mom sang that song to him when they unplugged the machines. It'll always make me cry. Edit. Thank you all for your kind words and my first awards of any kind. You Can Let Go Now Daddy. I had to Google this one. I made it to where the dad was giving her away at her wedding before I had to close the window. I don't feel like crying at work today. I cry all the time for various reasons. I'm nearly 30 years old. I actually think it is healthy to do so. Whenever I've finished crying, I always feel so much better about whatever it is. When my father was so grumpy he kept on shouting at my mom that she ran out of the house with her keys. I joined her a little later outside and sat with her till she went home and then went to my GF and cried on her shoulders. EDT, thanks for ya shining to bloon. But more seriously, take care of yourself, your mother and your father, acknowledge your problems. It is not a weakness to talk to professionals or to cry or to emote once in a while. This is the main reason my dad has these issues. So please take men who have these problems seriously and help them. My friend and gym partner killed himself on November 5th, and I didn't know for a whole week. I was texting him daily things like, hey man, where are you at? Are we lifting today? Did I do something wrong? Why aren't you replying? Hey man, if you don't respond to this message I'm calling the police for a welfare check. And then a friend found the GoFundMe on Facebook. I cried so hard and loud that I heard my roommate approach my door to knock. He heard me through the door and did a quick about face to retreat back to his room. Today someone approached me in the gym saying, hey man, do you know what happened to Run? He was in my class and just stopped showing up one day last semester and I went full deer in the headlights before straightforwardly answering he killed himself, then returning to my workout to avoid the emotions and awkwardness. I started drinking at 8 AM today, so I got that going for me. Hey guys, I appreciate the concern and I assure you I anything but an alcoholic, just had a moment of shock. I'm going to take a nap, take the dog for a long walk, then get back to it as I usually do. Once again I appreciate those who reached out, but I'm going to be fine. We are happy you're here. Edit. Thank you kind stranger for the award. I hope you all find something to smile about today. Edit #2. To the Reddit friend who gifted me gold. Thank you. Truly honored. You've made my day. While I'm humbled by these awards, I would ask instead that you donate that money to a conservation organization of your choice. Walking into rehab when almost no one knew I was going. 60 days later I'm sober as hell and going to be a sober dad. I felt this one. Only some of my family knew. I just disappeared from work, don't even recall how that part was arranged. Congratulations on 60 days, that's a big deal. This internet stranger is super proud of you. Thanks buddy. It was really hard, but the best thing to ever happen to me. Rehab kicked the shit out of me, but I got my life back. I flew to Seattle, and it was done. This morning, we lost a son who was born at 20 weeks a few weeks ago. He lived for 2 hours, and died in my arms. Every time I close my eyes I see him. I know it'll get better in time, but for now it's rough. Last month, when my daughter was born. Edit. Wow, thank you so much everyone for your kind words, and for the gold and silver. The little one sends hugs and kisses to each and every one of you. Yesterday. Grief. Wife died 8 months ago. She was the love of my life and my best friend. Sorry to hear this buddy. I've been in your spot, believe me it gets better eventually. Don't let anyone tell you how or when to heal, just do it in your own way. But make sure you are headed toward healing. Losing my wife taught me that life is short and there are things to enjoy and appreciate all around us. If you like shave your face regularly and don't want your barber don't shave your bear with an axe, then like the video and subscribe now and stay connected.